Prime, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell led a delegation of Republican senators in Kyiv, meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy earlier today. Senators Susan Collins, John Cornyn, and John Barrasso joined McConnell on the trip. It was meant to show support for Ukraine amid the Russian invasion. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey is live in Washington, D.C. now with the latest on this surprise trip. Tom.
Hey, Rudabeh. Yeah, the Senate still needs to formally approve $40 billion in aid for Ukraine. But the Pentagon says if passage of that bill doesn't come soon, that could lead to delays in getting new weapons to the country.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
As war continued in Ukraine on Saturday, focus shifted to diplomacy with a special visit from an American delegation.
How are you?
Good, and very happy to see
welcome.
you, sir. Thank you.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy greeted Senator Mitch McConnell and other Republican senators in Kyiv as Congress works to pass $40 billion in military and humanitarian aid for the country.
We must keep our promise to the people of Ukraine.
An attempt to speed up the process of getting the assistance to Ukraine stalled this week when Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky delayed the vote. Approval could come early next week, with the Pentagon saying passage must come by Thursday to avoid any delays sending new weapons to the country.
If we don't get those authorities soon, I mean, it's possible that there could be a bubble, a period of time at which, there's just nothing moving, and we want to make sure we avoid that.
The effort to bring aid comes as talks continue over possible NATO expansion. Both Sweden and Finland expressed interest this week in joining for added protection against Russia. Both countries would need support from all 30 members. However, Turkey has raised concerns about the expansion, with its president calling the countries, quote, guest houses for terrorist organizations. On Saturday, Finland's prime minister hoped discussions between the two sides could bring progress.
So we want to take the time and discuss with Turkey, like other countries, what are their positions, and our interest is.
And Finland's foreign minister added that he expects Parliament to discuss this NATO expansion next week in the country, and he expects it to see overwhelming support by leaders there.
Tom, thank you. And on the ground in Ukraine, Russian forces are pulling back from Kharkiv. The Ukrainian military says after weeks of shelling Ukraine's second largest city, Russian troops are shifting their focus to the eastern part of the country. Reporter Kieran McKellen is in Lviv with more.
Yeah, it seems that Ukraine has won the so-called battle for Kharkiv. That's the assessment of the mayor of the city, who says that Russian shells are now without shelling range of the city. It's also the assessment of the influential US-based think tank, the Institute for the Study of War. And they say that the Russian military has likely withdrawn in the face of Ukrainian counter-offensives and the limited availability of reinforcements. Now, besides the fact that Kharkiv is the second largest city in Ukraine, it also is worth noting that the majority of the speakers of the city are indeed Russian, and there was the mistaken belief among some of the Russian military campaign planners that the city would welcome the Russian invaders with open arms. I think it's fair to say that it was a key military objective in the early phase of the war, which started in this country 80 days ago. Now, in the eastern Donbass region of the country, it's a slightly different picture for the Russian army. According to US military analysts, the Russians are making some incremental progress. Now, you may have seen those spectacular pictures of a pontoon bridge which was blown by Ukrainian shelling, a couple of days ago. Up to 70 tanks and APCs could have been destroyed in that attack, and that's clearly a setback for the Russian military. But the Ukrainian military are themselves very clear about their objective, and they say that they believe that a victory is within sight by the end of this year. The Ukraine's head of military intelligence gave a wide-ranging interview to British television last night, talking about a victory at the end of the year and the momentum to change the tempo of this conflict by the middle of August. Now, that will require a ceasefire. There's still lots of gains to be won, battles ahead for both sides. They won't be ready to give up their arms just yet because both sides still feel that they can win this war. Back to you, Rudabeh.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.